It's Gloria Gaynor. I'm Morgan Cunningham. As we continue, I Will Survive. What an anthem, a power anthem that is, an inspirational anthem that is on Nighttime Neighbors, bumping back into the last half hour. We'll send that out to Ed, listening in Andover. No, not Andover, Massachusetts, but Andover, Connecticut. Happy to have him as part of our Nighttime Neighbors crowd. Happy to have him as a neighbor, for sure. Tonight on WTIC News Talk 1080. He likes all those disco anthems. We had a call, someone trying to call in during the break. We were trying to hold them through it. I think that we got disconnected. They're welcome to try again. The number 860-785-4390. We are taking your open calls tonight. See where you take the conversation. Should be interesting. We've talked a little bit about a lot. From big picture philosophy and quotes from the deep and the mysterious Artie Shaw, a musician of America's swing era, who maybe some have forgotten by now, but left us with some indelible remarks about his philosophy, about his thoughts on the world, on life. No doubt interesting. We've talked a little bit about skiing, people who have skiing tips for me. And I'm not a skier, but these are people who wanted me to try to ski. And also, if I go on this big solo trip Thursday afternoon in Boston, I may or may not have a friend with me. I'm not totally sure. Where do I go for a bite to eat? Not that familiar with Boston. Haven't been up there much. So I'd be curious to know what you have to say about that. Our number, lines are open, 860-785-4390. First come, first served. I answer them as they come in, 860-785-4390. Would love to hear from you. Before we wrap up, before we slam the lid on things for tonight, I do have some more commentary, some more quotes from Artie Shaw that I find particularly interesting about human nature in general. In this interview, which is called Artie Shaw, Victim of Success, he talked about how he had a problem with somebody who was playing an E on a clarinet that was too high. And this person, when he criticized them, said, well, that's how I was taught. And he said, quote, this guy was an excellent clarinetist. Well, we were taught that way, he said. Yeah, but who taught you? And when he said that it was his teacher that taught him that way, he questioned, Artie Shaw did, if this person was able to think about anything for themselves. Interesting. Just food for thought as we go over to our open line, 860-785-4390. I'm Morgan Cunningham, and you are live on Nighttime Neighbors on WTIC News Talk 1080. Who is this, and where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Joseph. I'm calling from West Hartford.
Joseph in West Hartford. Good to have you here. Hi.
Hi, I'm really enjoying your show, and I just wanted to offer some encouragement because you're really doing a great job. And I had some thoughts. I think it's interesting that Artie gave up his career in his 40s. When you think of musicians, they seem to be the example of people who get into a career early, and if they really enjoy it, they never stop. There's a woman who's a pianist at 88 years old who's still at the top of her game giving full house concerts. I can't think of her name. I just saw it on Instagram today.
Right.
But I also had some interesting thoughts. I think about Artie and his education when he was talking about how, the college process and all that stuff. And you just, I think, have to find your passion and find something that really works for you. I'm someone who went through college and even law school and worked hard to try to find a fit. And eventually, part of that of just pure necessity, I taught myself a trade that has been very successful for me, and I love it. And it's actually what I'm doing right now while I listen to you on the radio. I'm down in my basement working on stuff. I don't know if I can mention what it is, but
I'm curious.
I found what I love doing.
You can't tease this and not tell me. I'm curious. What is it?
So I rebuild and repair phonograph cartridges for
No
turntables.
kidding.
I'm one of the few people in the world who does it. I completely taught myself how to do it, partly out of necessity. I needed extra income, even though I have a good-paying full-time job. It's just tough to get by. in Connecticut, and so I started doing it. I dabbled in it maybe about, I think about 10 years ago now, and one thing led to another, and now you can find me on the internet, and I am probably one of the most sought out cartridge retippers, rebuilders in the world right now. It's pretty cool.
To your point, Joe, talking about hearing Artie talk about the school process and the college process, which in some ways has changed drastically since the 1930s, 1920s when he was in school. But in any case, you talked about how you searched and you searched, you dreamed, and something finally clicked. And now obviously you have this side passion. But I'm curious, what was it that clicked for you, Joe?
So I'll tell you first, and I do have some thoughts about education in Artie's time, but what clicked for me was it's something that I've always been interested in since I was a little kid, and it's something that I thought I had to set aside. Well, first of all, vinyl records went away, and who knew they were going to come back? Secondly, other things that helped me was the advent of the internet. I never would have been able to have the reach that I do. I started off on eBay and started to get customers from all over the world, which never would have happened before the internet. So it was interesting. Who thinks that they're going to go out in the world in the era of the replacement stylus repairing cartridges? But then innovations occurred in that intervening time. CDs went away, vinyl records came back, and then the way cartridges are made changed to moving coil cartridges that don't have a replaceable diamond tip. So the your options, if you break your cartridge or if you wear it out, is to send it back to the manufacturer for maybe a 10 to 20% discount. And we're talking cartridges that are very expensive, anywhere from $2,000 to $20,000. There are real
Goodness.
enthusiasts out there. Just like, Ferrari. If you're going to be a mechanic, my advice is to fix Ferraris. If you're going to work on cartridges, fix these ones that are very expensive because you're going to save your clients a lot of money. But I just do it because I love the music and I love having I have an Instagram account where I put the repairs up and listen to the music and people love it. And I just listen to records the whole time I'm fixing cartridges.
Well, I'm
One thing
so
I wanted
glad
to say
to
about,
hear
oh,
also
go ahead.
that I'm so glad that you found a hobby that you turned into a career because so few people do that. But go on, and then I think we're going to try to get to another caller. But go on. I
Sure,
didn't
real
mean to cut
quick.
you off.
In Artie's age, my day job exposes me to a lot of files that have to do with families and their situations in the 20s and 30s. Not now, but I had to clean out a bunch of old files, and it was not unusual in Artie's age for people to finish their education in eighth grade. Even here in Connecticut, people who grew up in Hartford, New Britain, you would open a file and you would have certain of these files, you would see what the family was doing and how the other children were doing, and you could easily have a family of 8 to 10 kids, totally normal. And anyone over 12 years old, there was a note, working for Stanley in New Britain. And that was it. You started your career sometimes not even with an eighth grade education. So just to decide you're going to be a musician at a certain age might not have been so strange as it would be today.
That's an excellent perspective. I'm glad you mentioned that. Thank you.
You're welcome, and keep it up. I really enjoy your show.
Well, I appreciate that very much. And Joseph in West Hartford, you have a good night, and I hope to hear from you again very soon on Nighttime Neighbors on WTIC News Talk 1080. I believe that we've got a few other people who are trying to get a hold of me tonight. Our number is 860-785-4390. It is very easy to get a hold of me when you call 860-785-4390. You can also find me on socials if you can't get through tonight. Maybe you've got an idea for me for next week's show, whatever. Just find me on socials at MC News Talk. Going back to the phone lines now, we are going to take another call at 860-785-4390. You are live on the air with me, Morgan Cunningham, and Nighttime Neighbors. Who's this? Where are you calling from, please?
This is Mark calling from Hartford.
Mark in Hartford, hi.
Yes, I heard you say that you were looking for suggestions to eat in Boston.
Yes,
and
please.
I would recommend Legal Seafood is a good place to eat if you like seafood.
You said, is that legal or regal?
Legal.
Okay.
Legal Seafood. And also anything in Quincy Market Faneuil Hall, there's all kinds of ideas, things that you might want to try. And if you go during the day on a Saturday, there's usually street performers as well out there,
Ooh.
which is fun to watch.
Oh, so I'll get a little action.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate that. I jotted that down. So
Oh.
Legal Seafood, Quincy Market, might see some action. That's what I've got jotted down here.
Yeah, it's I've been many times. It's a great place to go. If you like to do some walking, if you start out at Quincy Market, you can follow what they call the Freedom Trail, and it'll take you through Boston, just like Paul Revere did back in the day. You can go to Paul Revere's house and see that as well.
Oh, I love the history up there. I really do. And you get to see just so much history when you're in Boston. And maybe you know the answer to this question. I haven't looked it up. I was at Fenway, and my friends took me to, I think it was nearby, maybe a few blocks away. The Boston Burger Company, is that it?
Yes, I've been there. It's very, very good.
Very good. I had mac and cheese on the burger, I think it was. No complaints there.
Oh, their shakes are amazing.
I had one. Regrettably, my scale wasn't too happy with me, but I was happy.
Excellent show. I really enjoy listening. I'm on my way home, and I just really enjoy listening to you. You're doing a great job, and keep it up.
Look, I appreciate it, and I hear you driving out there. Are you driving a big rig or just a regular vehicle?
Just a regular car. The roads are perfect. There's no problems with the roads whatsoever.
Oh, good news. Good news then.
Yeah. Yep.
We don't need any more trouble out there. We've got the snow, we've got the cold. Don't need any more problems here in Connecticut. We've got enough problems on the roads.
Yeah, bring the warm weather, will you? But
I'm trying. I was in Florida, but it didn't work.
I will be interested to hear how things go in Boston, trying out some of those places and what your review is.
Well, you're going to want to listen next. You're going to want to listen next Saturday night, okay, Mark?
Perfect.
All right. Thank you so much, Mark from Hartford. You have a good night, sir.
You as well.